Okay. Let me just make sure. Okay, I think we're live here, hopefully. One of my screens is showing that we're up and going. The other one is not. Okay, I think there we go. So I just threw the link out on Twitter. But anyways, let's talk a little NFL draft here, guys. We are 6 days away now from the NFL draft getting going with round one, the Tennessee Titans getting on the clock and all of that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Always love this event. It's always fun to bet on. A lot of these books, I mean, these are all like novelty props, so you can't really bet a ton of money on any of these. Not that I would ever advise you to do that because you don't know what these teams are going to do. These odds change and fluctuate all the time. I mean, with just any tweet from Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport or Tom Pelissero, any of the insiders, everything just seems to change. I mean, I have a whole bunch of notes here from last night and odds that I like that are now gone today, not even, or right around 12 hours later. Like these have all moved a little bit or moved drastically in some cases. But just want to talk a little bit about what interests me when I'm looking to place my bets when it comes for the NFL draft, and just how I think there's a little too much chalkiness out there and a little too people. I feel like as a community, as a betting community, as football fans, we're buying into the chalk a little bit too much here for an event that always has twists and turns, and teams, you know, are being very guarded right now, still 6 days out from this draft, and that they might change their plans here. In the next couple of days, something could come across one of these coaches or GM's desk that are just going to throw a wrench into people's plans and could totally ruin your chalky picks here if you were laying juice on any of these draft picks, really. So, I mean, this is not an event that you really want to lay a lot of juice on anywhere. I mean, right now, so as we look at it, the Tennessee Titans are going to be the first pick. Cam Ward, it seems like he is the consensus number one guy. The books all agree with that. Minus 20,000 pretty much across the board here, depending on where you go. Here's DraftKings, 20,000. FanDuel, same thing. Minus 20,000 everywhere. So it seems like Cam Ward's going number one. Travis Hunter going to follow him at number two. A little less certainty there with only a minus 700 on FanDuel. Minus 800 on DraftKings. And then I think, and the Cleveland Browns are picking second, by the way. I think this draft is really going to get going here with the New York Giants at the third overall pick and what the Giants decide to do here. The chalky selection, the betting favorite to go number three in this spot is Abdul Carter, the defensive end edge guy from Penn State, who I think is the best player in this draft, the best prospect anyway. I think this dude can absolutely be a game wrecker. We saw it with Penn State. He is just awesome. He was dominating with one arm in the college football playoff, which was just incredible to watch. But I love Abdul Carter. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm hoping he falls to number four, or the Patriots and Giants maybe flip spots, which I saw that as a rumor today, that or at least a hypothetical trade scenario, that maybe the Pats jump up and try to take Carter and get Carter, and then the Giants can take who they really want at number four. But anyways, I think the Giants, going back to my point here, the draft is never as chalky as it seems, right? Going from a week out or 2 weeks out, whatever it is, even a day out, things are going to change. I think this draft gets going at the number three pick with the New York Giants and what they want to do. I think the Giants, I'm starting to feel like the Giants really want Shedeur Sanders. They have 1 year plans, bridge options, and Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston at quarterback right now, both on short-term deals. Winston can be cut. Tommy Cutlets is there too. They've cut him already and brought him back. He can be cut again. Wilson, they're not going to cut. He's going to be on this roster to start the season, without a doubt. I think the Giants, though, want to get their rookie quarterback. Brian Daboll desperately needs to get a rookie quarterback. He is coaching for his job here this season. He's an offensive guy. They need a quarterback. They need a young quarterback. They can't just do this year-to-year thing and then hopefully wait and maybe try to take Arch Manning or something next year. I think they need to get a guy in the building this year. And that's why I think it's interesting here to look at the Giants and why they might take Shedeur Sanders. So Adam Schefter tweeted out earlier this week that the Giants went and had one more workout with Shedeur in Colorado on Thursday. That's yesterday, 1 week out from the draft. I'm curious, I haven't seen any reports and if the Giants have fallen in love or anything like that, but maybe we get those rumblings early next week leading into the draft when we're just hours away from the clock starting, that the Giants fall in love with Shedeur, and it's a worthwhile investment to sprinkle the Giants to take Shedeur Sanders. So there's a number of different ways you can do this. You can take him to go third overall, which means if the Giants trade out and somebody comes up and takes them at 3, you cash your ticket. But if the Giants and Patriots flip spots, right, and then the Giants take them at 4, you don't. So I think what you can do here is if you head over to ESPN Bet. So first off, should put a little like disclaimer and just general betting 101 is always shop your lines and to find the best number available. These books, especially for events like this, can be drastically different at some spots. So if you head over to the ESPN's NFL Draft tab here, and then you go team to draft player, you go down to Shedeur Sanders, you got the Giants at 5-1. Okay, I think that's a worthwhile investment there for the Giants to take him at plus 500 there on ESPN Bet. You go to other sports books. Now, of course, you could do the third overall at 750. That's a better number, but the Giants would have to take him there. So let's see. Where is that? Player drafted by. We got Genty again. Right? So you go to ESPN. It's only plus 350. I know you can't see that right now. Let me slide that over if I can so you can see it. Yeah, so the Giants on DraftKings only plus 350. You got a much better number on ESPN Bet at 5-1. I think you should maybe consider sprinkling a unit or whatever you're going to do, however you're looking to bet this. Sprinkle a little bit on the Giants to take Shedeur Sanders. We know they like him. Could be something where the Giants maybe even try to trade back up at the end of the first round and grab him if he's still there, or maybe in the middle of the first round. But I think at 5-1, that is a decent and worthwhile investment. And then the other rumor out there is that Mike Tomlin is absolutely in love with Shedeur Sanders in Pittsburgh. So best number. So we got plus 275 at DraftKings. I think on BetMGM, which is, I'm not going to go all the way through this, but MGM, there's a 4-1 out there. So that's a significantly better number too. So you can really just split things, like shop around, look around, see what you like, see what insider you trust, and just kind of go off that information. I mean, you're working off of rumors really, but still, I think that's a worthwhile investment there to maybe split up some money and have a little bit on Shedeur to go to Pittsburgh or Shedeur to go to New York, where you can get some nice little payouts there. If the chalk doesn't hold, like I think right now the Saints are the favorite across the board to draft Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, and that number's dropping too. This was like around like 150 last night. It's at 195 now, so things are changing here. I do think it's interesting to maybe sprinkle a little bit on the Giants. That's one play I really like here for the NFL draft. So that leaves out. So if Shedeur goes to the Giants at 3, that means Abdul Carter is probably going to fall here. And if he's there, I do think the Patriots are going to absolutely take him at number 4. I think there's a number of different ways to bet Abdul Carter in this draft. Where you think he's going to go? I mean, obviously the chalkiness. It's super chalked here for him to go to the Giants at number 3. Yeah, minus 550. I have no interest in that. But I do like different ways to play him and what the Patriots are going to do here. If he's there, the Patriots are going to take him. So you can do either a plus 750 right there at the number 4 overall pick. There are other spots where you can just make sure you grab the Patriots to select him in case the Giants and Pats do flip spots there, like that one trade rumor I was talking about that was going on Friday morning. Player drafted by, I don't know if it's in DraftKings somewhere. I don't remember where it is. But anyways, I think that's an interesting look there because what the Patriots are going to do here I think is still very much up in the air. Will Campbell right now seems to be the chalky selection. I mean, that's at like minus 200, minus 225, depending on where you're looking. The Patriots obviously need a offensive tackle. They need a left tackle. They need to solidify that line. They need to protect Drake May. Everybody knows this that watches football. The Patriots' offensive line has been horrible for the past couple of years. Campbell appears to be the consensus top lineman in this draft, but there are some concerns with his arm size, or arm length rather, and if he's going to project as a tackle long-term here or if a team's going to kick him into guard. So I like just a little sprinkle, a little lottery play on the Patriots to take Abdul Carter at plus 750. There's been reports that the Pats also like Jalen Walker from Georgia. So what you can do then to make sure you get paid out whether the Patriots take Carter or Walker is you can head over to BetMGM and take the Patriots first position selected at plus 475 for the Pats to take. If I can scroll up here, it's on here somewhere. The Patriots to take a defensive lineman or edge player with their first pick, right? Plus 475. This is as low as plus 225 on ESPN. So once again, shop around, find out what you want to do. I think it's really interesting and a worthwhile investment for the Patriots to take something on defense. We know Mike Vrabel's a defensive guy. I think Vrabel was talking about how there can be how there was multiple offensive tackles in the first round that he thinks can play in the NFL. So maybe the Patriots take and go defense here because they feel it's the best player on the board at number 4. And then they come back and trade back into the first round later on and try to take a tackle towards the end of the night on Thursday. So I think that's a worthwhile investment too. So those are just a couple of things in the top 5 I really like. One more, Mason Graham. It seems like the consensus with him too. And I'm using that word a lot, consensus, but that's really all you have to work off of here when it comes to the NFL draft. It seems like he's going number 5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? So this number started to move a little bit. It's at minus 130 now. It was minus 115 last night. You can still jump in on it there at minus 130. I really wouldn't go past like minus 150 for Mason Graham because Jacksonville needs a lot of help too. But Graham at minus 130 to go in the first round or to go in the top 5, I think is a decent investment. He's one of the best players in this draft. He should go in the top 5. Really good football player. Makes a lot of sense for Jacksonville. And I think, and pretty much every single mock draft that you look at, not that it's concrete or anything like that, or that it's law, but has Mason Graham going at number 5 to Jacksonville. So I think that's a nice little ticket there for yourself as well to grab that. So what else interests me here in this NFL draft? A guy that I really like. Let me just grab a sip of water here first. I love Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State, the wide receiver. Was a senior on that Ohio State team. He is awesome. I think he's going to go in the first round Thursday night towards the end, probably somewhere in the 20s. Now it's minus 210, so this has moved even since I started talking here. This was at minus 190 before I started this video. So another guy I like to go in the first round is Donovan Ezeiruaku from Boston College. I think he goes in the first round as well. These guys I think are both going to go in somewhere in the 20s. So one way to do this here, 2-pick parlay, minus 130 on DraftKings. I think if you head over to FanDuel, you can get a slightly better number. Let's find this here. So let's make sure you guys can see this. There we go. So we're going to go Ezeiruaku and Egbuka. That's only minus 116 on FanDuel. Last night when I was doing my prep, it was plus 101. So this is starting to move. I think these two guys do go in the first round. I think they go somewhere in the 20s. This is a ticket I will be playing both these guys to be first-round picks. They are definitely first-round talent, and I think they're going to be really, really good NFL players for a long time here. I love Egbuka. I would be thrilled if somehow the Patriots got him. But I don't know if they're going to trade back up to get a wide receiver at the end of the first round. Another thing I like here is TreVeyon Henderson, the Ohio State running back, to go in the first round. So you look around, right? So you go to DraftKings. Henderson is like plus 120. Let's clear that out of the way. Henderson to go in the first round. What is he at now? Plus 125 on DraftKings right here. FanDuel, I believe, has him at like plus 105. Let's see if we can find this. FanDuel has him at plus 105, so you're getting a much better number there. And then I think if you go to, where else was this? ESPN, last night anyways, had him at like minus 115 to go in the first round. Let's see if we can find this for you. Yeah, to be a first round pick, minus 115. So juiced on ESPN Bet. It's plus 125 on DraftKings. Henderson, a lot of scouts have him to be projected like a Jahmyr Gibbs type. We saw Gibbs go in the first round a couple years ago to the Lions. This is a deep running back draft class, but there are some really nice pieces at the top, starting with Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton from North Carolina, and also TreVeyon Henderson from Ohio State. Those are 3 really nice pieces there. Henderson's going to be interesting. I think he goes in the first round. And also, if you don't like that that play at plus 125, I think you can find over 2.5 running backs taken at like plus 115 in the first round, or like maybe even a better number at like plus plus 150 there. So that's also a very interesting way to play that. I do think 3 running backs might be able to sneak into this first round this year, and Henderson would be the third guy. So that is another way to have a nice little plus money ticket. With Henderson, something else that interests me here, Ashton Jeanty. Everybody seems to think that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to take him at 6 overall. I'm not so sure that's the case. The Raiders need a lot of help all over the place. Genty's super talented. I don't know if he's going to go in the top 6, guys. I do think he goes in the top 10, but I think he could fall past that spot. And there's a plus 175 out there for Ashton Jeanty to go past or over 6.5 for his draft position. I think that's an interesting ticket too. He could end up going to the Bears at like number 10 overall. You can find that at plus 200 at some spots. But I think Ashton Jeanty does fall a little bit further. The Raiders just have too many other needs to take a running back at number 6. That's another thing that interests me there. And then another ticket, Will Johnson from Michigan, the cornerback, to be a top 10 pick. You can find this at plus 200 on DraftKings and FanDuel, where right here, so let's see, where is he? Will Johnson, right here, plus 200, top 10 corner. I think he is a top 10 player in this draft. I do think he could go in the top 10. We see multiple cornerbacks sometimes go in the top 10 of these drafts. We had 2 go in the top 5 a couple years ago with Sauce Gardner and another corner too, that Stingley on the Texans. Both won the top 5. I think Will Johnson is absolutely a top 10 pick. Injury concerns from last year at Michigan, only played 6 games, but he is healthy, tested out well at his pro day. Johnson, it's 2-1 on DraftKings and FanDuel. It's only plus 140 on ESPN. So once again, some nice value there. That's a nice ticket and something I will be playing as well here going into the NFL draft. There are those injury concerns, but as I mentioned, he is healthy. And then was there another one? No, I think that's it. That's what I'm interested in for now. I'm going to come back next week, hopefully have a guest with me, break down a little more of this stuff. The draft's always fun to bet on. It's fun to have a couple of tickets in your pocket when you're watching the draft and how this thing's unfold. Do your research. Find the insiders that you trust. These numbers are going to fluctuate even more over the next week. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot. At Dan Watkins Sports on YouTube. But thank you very much for watching, guys. And we're getting closer to the NFL draft. Going to be a lot of fun.